And let's ask you this, and this is for you. We want to hear your comments. Following the recent deaths of 11 people in an ethnic conflict between the Basotho and Amaxhosa at an informal settlement in Rustenburg, what more do you think still needs to be done to build social cohesion in South African communities? All right, that's what we are asking you, and you can write to us at Morning Live SABC. That is our Twitter handle, and remember, hashtag Morning Live so that we can pick up those stories as well. So that's our question of the day for you. All right, big stories of the day today. What can we look out for? Okay, first up, the High Court in Cape Town will hear an application by AfriForum to indict the National Assembly from processing the report on the possible amendment of Section 25 of the Constitution to allow for expropriation of land without compensation. Next, former SAA board chairperson Cheryl Carolus is expected to give testimony at the Commission of Inquiry into state capture. And the Constitutional Court will consider the constitutionality of the use of corporal punishment in the home. And new Communications Minister Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams will be visiting the SABC to engage with employees, organised labour and the SABC board on a number of issues, and I can imagine the retrenchment issue is one that's going to be focused very, very much so during that visit today. The Interministerial Committee on the Centenaries of Nelson Mandela and Albertina Sisulu is expected to brief the media on the nation's state of readiness to host this massive festival, the Global Citizen Mandela 100 Festival. It's happening on Sunday. If you're lucky enough to have tickets, well done to you, because I think it is going to be phenomenal. But the great news is that SABC is going to be covering it live, so you'll be able to watch it on SABC as well. If you weren't lucky enough to get those tickets, you'll be able to watch it on SABC, so that's some great news for you on Sunday. Okay, let's move on to the trending topics of the day. And yesterday, Ramatlodi, I think, was, as many people put it, quite blatantly dropping bombs like a fighter jet. I was hearing things, and so were you, and it was just quite an intense testimony yesterday, I must say. He was not holding back. He was giving it his full, and that was the story for why Ramatlodi was trending. And he also spoke very much so about the Gupta family and the implication of the President Jacob Zuma at the time, basically talking to the Waterkloof Air Force Base, the landing of that plane. We'll never forget it as a country when the wedding guests arrived at the Waterkloof Air Force Base, and Ramatlodi saying that is a highly, highly guarded section and nobody should be going there. That is reserved for state presidents, and they were given as much respect and also treated well with police escorts all over the place when they arrived all the way to the northwest. So he was really sort of very, very vocal against the Guptas and the hold they had over our past president Jacob Zuma. So that was the state capture inquiry. That also was trending. I saw that there. They were linked. Oh no, it wasn't there, but that of course was linked to that. Estina is something that we're going to be taking up here on the program. We've got two guests. We're going to be talking to the NPA regional spokesperson, Paladi Shuping. Looking forward to that conversation. And Patricia Kopande, head of the DA in the Free State, talking more on why the NPA has decided to provisionally drop the charges against the Guptas on the Estina case. I think it's an announcement that came out yesterday that took a lot of people by surprise, and so many people asking questions. Why? How is this possible? 220 million rand intended to uplift poor black communities, siphoned to Gupta companies. That was the allegation. And now the charges have been dropped, or provisionally as they put it. Not a happy time, I can imagine, for a lot of people in that case. So we'll talk about that. Do stay tuned for the interview. And then finally, Dross Rapist, that story. Still continuing to make headlines in our news bulletin. The Dross rapist Nicholas Nina's rape case has officially been postponed. It'll only be picked up in January next year. And I think the big thing is because Weskopje Psychiatric Hospital cannot accommodate him right now, and they're still waiting for a bed to become available for him so that the district surgeon can get a mental evaluation. And that's where that case stands right now. Okay, that's Twitter. And we're constantly looking. We'd love to hear from you. Please do write to us. Okay, let's get to a traffic update, though. And Rob Byrne is on the line. Rob, a very, very good morning to you. It was nice and cloudy outside here when I arrived, and I can imagine it looks like it's going to rain, but that's not good news for the traffic. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning to you. No, it's never a good mix, is it? Rush hour and rain, but of course we need the water everywhere across South Africa, don't we? All right, good morning. Nothing too significant going on at this stage, but there are going to be some problems as we get further into Thursday. Let's go and have a look. This is the run from Pietermaritzburg to Ashburton. Now, after 9 o'clock in the morning, they bring some roadworks off the shoulders and bring it onto the main carriageway between Market Road and Ashburton. So that's what you can expect if you're leaving Pietermaritzburg a little bit later this morning. Just give yourself extra time to get through the roadworks traffic. And I can tell you, if you get a broken down truck in that mix, then it just goes at next level. So just be aware of that. You could come out using the R103, the Polly Shorts run, and aim to come back on at Linfield Park while this program of roadworks continues. Going into Cape Town a little bit later, from around about 8:30, 9 o'clock, roadworks going back in on the N1. This is all to do with the upgrade of the N1 between the R300 and Plattekloof Road. Contractors this week just working on that N1 inbound between the R300 and the Old Oak Road exit. But you can see the sort of traffic that you'll hit from 9 o'clock driving through that Brackenfell area coming in towards Belleville. So again, add extra time there. Also, if you're driving in Mpumalanga, there are 2 sets of stop-go controls on the N4 on the Schoemanskloof section. Now, what the track organisation, the people that run the N4 toll, are saying is go to Elands Valley. So if you're on the Schoemanskloof section, that's where the roadworks are. 2 sets of stop-go controls, 40 minutes. But if you travel between Vadval Boven and Godwana using the Elands Valley section, you'll be okay. There's no roadworks there. And that's ready for travel between Mashadadorp and Bombella. And then just to look at what's happening in Joburg, this is a look at London Road through Alex. Really bad road surface there. And of course, London Road is a fairly major route. As Sonia's saying here on Twitter, London Road, a major arterial linking Sandton to the N3 highway, linking Sandton to the airport and to Ekurhuleni in the east of Joburg. It's a high traffic route, and with that sort of road service, if you're driving through the central Alexandra area on London Road, just expect delays, particularly at peak times when motorists have to slow down. All right, that's a look at traffic and travel around the country.